Aw dang it, they closed the game corner. Mauville City, center of the Hoenn region and home to a wonderful nightlife in the form of the Game Corner. Now, Game Corners have appeared in other Pokemon games, mostly generations 1 through 4, but I had always thought so fondly of the Mauville Game Corner, convinced that it was the best of the bunch. But before gambling away your life savings, you'll need to acquire a coin case, which you can get from this one NPC in the city. While she has an extra one, what she really wants is some harbor mail, which can be bought from the Pokemart in Slateport City. That makes this one of the few times where the coin case isn't free, instead you'll have to spend 50 Poké-Yen in the process. Or you can pick one up during your adventures in the Trick House. Though the concept of having the player return to Slateport City isn't actually a bad thing, while the Game Corner is an optional time waster, your curiosity will no doubt be piqued. And rather than backtracking through the nearly endless grass in Route 110, you might even be incentivized to obtain a bicycle from Rydell Shop and try the cycling road as a new form of travel. Sure, you can avoid the trainers and make some tremendous time, but you could also use it as an opportunity to train. Either way, introducing a character who will give you the coin case in exchange for something you might not have thought to pick up helps to usher the player into experiencing all that the game has to offer. Anyway, one errand and a trade later, you can now have all the fun you want. At a Game Corner, the counter allows you to exchange your money for coins that you can use on the games, and the prize counter gives you a hint of what you'll be playing for. A bunch of useful TMs and some Pokemon dolls, also another clever way of hinting at these secret bases. What makes this place stand out among the rest is that off the bat there are two different games to enjoy. First of all, there are the tried and true slot machines. Insert your coins and try to win big by matching 3 icons in a row. The payout rates are different depending on what symbols you get. A few coins for matching Pokemon berries and stuff, and of course the big prize is reserved for the lucky number 7s. This seems like mostly luck, but I would always convince myself that I could cheese the system by looking very closely and just stopping it right to get the 7s all on the screen, but I think that was all in my head. The truth is that the game was rigged from the very start, just like real slot machines. Hoo boy, there is a lot going on behind the scenes of this that I can't even really comprehend. Basically, each machine has its own odds, and even then they're all different depending on when and how much you play. Certain machines are determined to be luckier than others, and you'll only know when you start playing. With Pokemon games, as soon as you start it up, a whole bunch of numbers are rolled that determine so many little events. Though I'm not a code or numbers guy, and I think looking into the seeds generated is more interesting when you look at it for other aspects aside from just a game corner, but the point is that you probably aren't going to win. In a casino, the house always wins. The best thing you can do is put in as many coins as you can and walk away when you make the slightest profit. I find it so interesting that the slot machines persisted for so long in Pokemon games. They do all have their own little gimmicks that make them slightly different. I mean, here in Mauville, you can charge up lightning bolt symbols to potentially activate real time as signaled by Pikachu, which will actually change the speed at which the reels roll and has a higher chance of ending with a big bonus, but you'll probably still be sitting there for a while. I never really spent too much time at the slots anyway. For me, it was all about the roulette table. Here, a big old wheel will be rotating as you place your bet on which space the ball will land on. This game only costs 1 coin to play, and your payout is determined by what you bet. If you bet on only one specific space and get it right, you'll win 12 coins. Betting on a single Pokemon will pay out 4, and a single color will pay out 3. While this one is still random, at least there isn't exactly a computer conspiring against you in the same way that the slots work. It mostly runs on probability anyway. And there are some funny things you can do. For one thing, the balls will remain on the wheel until they're cleared at the end of the 5 games. So it's actually smarter to bet on the spaces next to where the ball has landed or even in between, because it creates a backboard for it to bounce off of or a cradle for it to land in. Also, if the ball ever gets stuck, a tailor will come by, pick it up, and drop it, so that's just kinda neat. While you won't win as much as you potentially could at the other game, it's the safer option. Though the sad truth is that the optimal way of earning coins is to just earn real money and exchange them at the counter. That way you can easily obtain the prizes. Though here at the Mauville Game Corner, there isn't really a whole lot to make it worth playing all day. Again, there are some great TMs and the Pokemon dolls are cool, but you can get one for free from the girl on the left based on the starter that you chose. And there isn't really a big prize in the same way the previous games had. Say what you will about the ethics of including a Pokemon as a prize at the casino, but it really feels like something is missing when you take them away. The more I play these games in the modern day, the more I realize they might not be all that I thought they were. I was always convinced that this was the definitive Game Corner simply because it had 2 different games, but in Generation 2 they did actually have a basic version of roulette. It just wasn't very obvious and noticeable because it didn't have its own table in the overworld, but that's one illusion broken. And the fact that there aren't any cool Pokemon at the prize counter makes it a lot less worth the grind. I guess I do get what they're going for, something more of a side feature rather than an almost necessary part of the game, both in story and in team building, but maybe it could have used a big draw like that. Unless I really want to play roulette, I'd be more likely to visit a game corner with better bonus modes or with a more skill-based game like Voltorb Flip. Mauville Game Corner still has some of the chillest vibes, especially with its music, and in a region like Hoenn that has so much more to offer, I think it works as a casual little distraction. I might be able to make my peace with that. So let me know what you think about this game corner in the comments below and show your support so I can eventually give the other ones a visit as soon as I can further build my footage archive. Anyway, I should actually probably get right back in there. 90% of gamers quit just before they hit it big. Thank you to every channel member for your continued support, especially the great Gators. Michael Snyder, DeAndre, Viz, Justin Dowes, Dartholomew, L Dashy, Swith Cheese, Lockadox, Gallantry, GatorKid509, TF, Cheeseburger Lasers, Mathaclock947, Nomad Nobi, Pastel Blood, Taijirai, Justin R, Volity, Cosmo Zero, Phantom, and Quago. If you would like to support, see your name here, get access to emotes for comments, live streams, sometimes early videos, and a monthly members only podcast, you can become a channel member today. You can also follow me on Twitter as well for more memes. Anyway, this is GatorX, and I'll catch you all later.
Game Boy Advance SP system, or one of 100 Pokémon Ruby or Sapphire games in the Pokemon Sweepstakes will be revealed in a moment.